to my channel. Here first of all I give you a motivation code. I hope you guys like this code. Life is short, time is fast. No replay, no rewind. Enjoy every moment as it comes. Okay, let us start our video. Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago to 20th century from now. Between time, so many species live our planet. Thousands of species is gone. No longer live our planet. That's called mass extinction. Which species go to peak of life? That peak goes down in our history. But now our human beings is go to peak. Human beings also exist. 8 billion people live our planet. These 8 billion people also gone our planet. Once we disappear or exist, our glorious discovered by humans, how long exist? Okay, it's time to think. Our day-to-day life was very busy. No time to think this kind of things, right? But we have to look back. Our human beings was 2.4 billion to 1.4 billion years old, but our planet was 4.6 billion years. But now our planet was dominated by humans. All the things made by humans, like artificial rain, space research, cities, etc. These things only made by humans, not other species do all kind of things. All thought it's common thing in movies, TV shows and book. The end of humanity is still a strange thing to think about. If humans just disappear from the world, so much silent, the world would be quiet. You notice the weather after 1 year without people, the sea, sky would be bluer, the air cleaner, the wind and the rain would scrub clean the surface of the earth. All thought smoke and dust that human make would be gone. What would happen to all our stuff? What would happen to our house, our cities? Who would feed the dog? Who would cut the grass? How human extinction would change the earth? If our species disappeared tomorrow, what would actually happen? And what kind of things planet would we be leaving behind? Humans have always shaped aspects of the environment from fire to farming, but the influence of Homo sapiens on earth has reached such a level that is now defines current geological time. From air pollution in the upper atmosphere to fragment of plastic at the bottom of the ocean, it's near impossible to find a place on our planet that humankind has not touched in some way, but that dark cloud on the horizon. Well, over 99% of the species that have even exist on Earth have died out, masked, doing catastrophes and extinction, events of the shark that killed off the dinosaur. Humanity has never faced an event of the magnitude, but sooner or later we will. The end of humanity is inevitable. Human extinction, many experts believe that is not a matter of it, but when and think it will come sooner or later. In 2010, astrobiologist Frank Fender claimed that humans will probably be exist in the next century. We will, thanks to overpopulation and climate change. Of course, the earth will survive just fine without us. Life will present and the make we lived on the planet will fade faster than you think. Our cities will crumble, our fields will overgrow, and our bridges will fall. Nature will break down everything eventually. Say Alan Weisman, author of the 2007 book The World Without Us, which examines what would happen if humans vanish from the planet. If it can break stuff down, it eventually bury it. Before too long, all the will remain of humanity will be a thin layer of plastic, radioactive isotopes and chicken bones. We kill 60 million chicken per year. In the fossil record for evidence of this, we can look to areas of the planet that we be forced to vacate. In the 90-mile exclusion zone surrounding the Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine, which was 700 kilometers following the 1986 reactor meltdown, plants and animals are thriving in ways they never did faced before. The speed of nature reclaims a landscape depends a lot on the climate of area. In the desert of Middle East from thousands of years ago are still visible, but the same can be said of our cities only a few thousand years old tropical forest. Plants and animal species that have formed close bonds with humanity are the most likely to suffer if we disappear. They are going to get out completed. Fast, say Wemson, carrot will turn back to the original form. Corn may go back in the original form. The original ear of corn that was not much bigger than a sprig of wind. Insects are mobile, reproduce quickly and live in almost any environment, making them a higher successful class of species, even when humans are actively trying to suppress them. They can mutate and adapt faster than anything else on the planet, except from maybe microbes, explains Wemson. Anything that looks delicious is going to get devoured. The bug explosion will it turn well a fuel. Population increase a bug eating species like birds, reptiles, bats, and then a boom in the species that eat those animals and so on all the way up the food chain. Life be like if every human suddenly disappeared. If every human disappeared, homes would decay, animals would fend for themselves, and cities would revert back to nature. There would be no more population or hunting, but also no more farms or pets. Scientists would be able to find evidence of humans after 15 to 20,000 years. What would happen to our homes? Nature would regain superbly on the planet without humans on it is bond our homes without a human present to maintain them. Houses made of woods would be eaten away by tremors, creepers would find cracks and grow around them, and water would seep inside the roof collapsing the wooden structure over time. Eventually, the house never exit at all. What would happen to our great cities? In the pipes used to keep out of water from the underground service stopped working in 36 hours. The underground tunnels would be completely filled up with water. Zoo animals would escape the cage and the cities would soon turn back to forest. Water would seep thought major destination of major steel structures, the Empire State Building, CN Tower, London Bridge, the Golden Gate of Bridge. Roads would be converted into river. Iconic monuments like Taj Mahal, the Opera House, and Leaning Tower of Pisa would be collapsed. 100 years later, after the population drops to zero, the dams will finally collapse. The future of life on a polluted planet. Even if we all vanish tomorrow, the greenhouse gases we pumped into the atmosphere will take 10,000s of years to return to prehistorical levels. Some scientists believe we already passed crucial dipping points in the polar region. Climate change, even if never emit another molecule CO2. That's the issue of the world nuclear planets. The evidence from Chernobyl suggests that ecosystem can bounce back from radiation release, but there are about 450 nuclear reactors around the world that will start to melt down. As soon as fuel run out, the emergency generator on and supply them coolant. No way of knowing how such an enormous uproot release of radioactive material into the atmosphere affects the planet's ecosystem. Decades following human extinction will be pockmarked by devastating oil spills, chemical leaks, and explosions, all ticking time bombs that humanity has never left behind. Some of events could lead to fire may burn for decades. The final traces of humanity, some traces of humankind will remain, even if 10 of millions of years after our end. Microbes will have time to evolve to conserve the plastic we left behind. Roads will be visible from many thousands of years. Roman concert is still identifiable 2000 years later, but will eventually be buried or broken up by natural forces. It feels reassuring that our art will be some of the lost evidence that we exist. Ceramics, bronze statues, and monuments like Mount Rosa will be among our most enduring legacies. Our broadcast too. Earth has been transmitting its culture over electromagnetic waves over hundreds of years. Those waves have passed out into space so 100 light years away. With a large enough antenna, you'll be able to pick up a recording of famous opera singers in New York. The first public radio broadcast in 1910, those waves were present in reachable from few million years, traveling further and further from Earth until they eventually become so weak and they become background noise of space. Before finish our video, I like to ask one question to you all guys. What would happen? Every single human on Earth will be disappear. What does actually happen on Earth? Earth will be present. If you like to answer my question, just comment it. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe, like, share. Bye everyone.